SCE Worldwide Studios president Shuhei Yoshida has spoken about Hello Games' No Man's Sky, particularly regarding the developer's PR en route to release, which saw some features discussed and not exactly present or implemented in a way that players expected. Speaking to Eurogamer, Yoshida said, "I understand some of the criticisms, especially Sean Murray is getting, because he sounded like he was promising more features in the game from day one. It wasn't a great PR strategy. As it turns out, creator Sean Murray didn't have any public relations team on hand to coach him on what he should and should not be saying." Regardless, Yoshida is still excited about the game's direction. Murray says their plan is to continue to develop No Man's Sky features, and as such, I'm looking forward to continuing to play the game. He also doesn't believe that the game harmed the PlayStation brand as such. "I'm super happy with the game actually, and I'm amazed with the sales the game has gotten, so I'm not the right person to judge if it has harmed the PlayStation brand. I personally don't think so. If anything, I'm proud that people can play No Man's Sky on PS4 as well as PC. Hideo Kojima's upcoming Death Stranding seems to be an all-star effort, featuring big names such as Norman Reedus of The Walking Dead fame, and now it seems like another mysterious and notable actor may be joining the crew. At least that's what Hideo Kojima seems to be hinting at on his Twitter. Kojima has posted the picture of an actor on the set, his face mysteriously shrouded and covered by the camera and filming equipment. A shot very clearly and carefully framed to create and induce mystery about the actor, whoever he is. Chances are it's one of the bigger names Kojima has been seen with over the last few weeks and months, though which one is anybody's guess. Death Stranding is due out at some undefined time in the future, exclusively on the PlayStation 4, with a PC version release to follow afterwards. At this point, we actually don't know when the Nintendo NX will be revealed. The original rumor was for September, but that's seeming increasingly unlikely as more and more of this month passes. A report that emerged last week said that analysts are projecting a reveal for the console in October now, which is a point that the Wall Street Journal's Takashi Mochizuki recently stated on Twitter, clarifying the notion that if we don't get to see it by TGS, we'll probably not see it announced until next month. The NX was not the only console he talked about, however. He also noted that Damien Thong, the lone analyst who correctly predicted the existence of the PS4 Pro and the PS4 Slim, was also predicting that the PS5, as in the successor to the PlayStation 4, will be arriving in the second half of 2018. That would honestly be a bit too soon for our liking. The PS4 Pro just launched after all, and in 2018, the PS4 itself would only be 5 years old. We think Sony would do well to hold off on introducing a PS5 for a good while. We love Bethesda games, like Oblivion and Skyrim, and we've even come around to liking Fallout 4. But we'd have to be blind, literally so in this case, to assume that their games actually look any good. While Oblivion was a bit of a looker for its time, and Skyrim at least has a great art style going for it, Fallout 4 was simply put an ugly game. It was an ugly game with no redeeming quality to it, visually speaking at least. In an interview with Metro UK, Bethesda's Pete Hines discussed the visuals of Bethesda's games, noting that while the development team would love for nothing more than its games to be state-of-the-art when it comes to graphics and visuals, Bethesda will always favor interactivity and gameplay over sheer graphical grunt. "I would say that we always want our games to look as good as possible within the context of what we're doing," he said, "and that is creating really massive and interactive worlds. So you can make any number of sacrifices or cuts to get there if you're willing to do that. I simply don't think that we are, that it's not enough for you to be able to go all over the place, that we want you to be able to walk into a room and have a table like this one," points to ordinary table, "with objects like this, but they're not just textures that you can't actually do anything with. There's a cost to everything when it comes to development," which is fair enough. In the end, we could hardly blame a developer unwilling to compromise on their vision for how their game should play, the all-important part of a video game, just to make it look shinier. We get enough of that from most developers this generation already. It's nice and refreshing to see Bethesda standing up for something different. That said, let's hope that Fallout 5 and The Elder Scrolls 6 at least end up looking better for their time than Fallout 4 did for its time. In some rather sad news, it sounds like multiple people working at Sony Worldwide Studios have lost their jobs in a recent round of layoffs conducted at Sony London and Sony San Diego. Sony have confirmed the layoffs to Games Industry International. Sony London, working on PlayStation VR exclusive London Heist, will apparently be kept assigned to PlayStation VR games for the time being, from the sound of things. London Studio have done a great job in leading the way in VR development, and as their first project nears completion, it is time to plan for the next VR project, a Sony spokesperson said. The team will take all their learnings and experience as they move forward. However, in order to achieve its ambitious goals, the studio will need to restructure around the needs of the new projects. Unfortunately, there will be a number of compulsory redundancies within the London studio. We accept that this will mean that we risk losing high-caliber staff whose projects have reached completion, and where possible, we will try to reallocate people to new projects currently being nurtured. As for Sony San Diego, it seems the shakeup there is more severe, although it also sounds like the team working on MLB every year is safe, if only because of how well that series sells. We can confirm that there has been a reduction in headcount at San Diego Studio, a Sony spokesperson again told Games Industry International. The team working on MLB The Show have not been affected. We continually evaluate teams and programs at SIE Worldwide Studios to ensure that we have the proper resources in place to deliver innovative products within a competitive landscape. As projects are completed, it's natural to review and restructure teams around current and future needs. We wish our departing team members success as they pursue new opportunities, and we have nothing but heartfelt thanks for their contributions to PlayStation. Let's just hope that the people who are being let go can get back on their feet again and soon. Being unemployed sucks, and we'd hate to see such talented people be jobless for long.
We hope you've enjoyed this video, so please consider subscribing to our channel. We do original content, reviews, graphics comparison, and much more, and try to upload a video every day. Thank you very much for checking us out.